You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
We're back. It's finally game week for the Tigers. We're sitting down with Coach Silverfield, both coordinators, and a bunch of players to get you ready for the season opener against North Alabama. The Ryan Silverfield Show is back. Let's go.
Game is on. The Ryan Silverfield Show is presented by AutoZone. When you've got battery trouble, head to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Conway Services, official heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric partner of Tiger Athletics. Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. RJ Young, technology solutions that power your business. And by Tennessee Lottery, turning dollars into dreams.
It's here, and I can't remember any more enthusiasm for any other football season. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Woloshin.
I'm Doc Holliday. The fans are excited, the players are excited, and of course, head coach Ryan Silverfield is excited. We sat down and spoke with him.
Coach, so good to see you again. Before we start anew, let's reflect back. Huge win here, AutoZone Liberty Bowl. You get a new contract. It's been a pretty good offseason.
Yeah, I think it started right, the momentum from the bowl game. You talk to so many Tiger fans and they said it's always been their dream, not only to play in the Liberty Bowl, but to actually win it. And to go back and be able to win that game in front of a great home crowd, national television, obviously versus an Iowa State team who we'd lost to a few years prior, and to go get that, I think that's set up for a great offseason, and that just all the momentum of things that have been going on. And we'll talk about some of the players that are coming back, but we've been so fortunate. It's been a lot of fun, obviously with all eyes pointing towards this season coming up.
Talking about that, how long were you able to enjoy that Liberty Bowl win? Because right after that, you're like, they want me to do more next year. So how long were you able to enjoy that win?
Yeah, look, I think, obviously you savor the victories. I think it's so hard in college football is what happens, okay, won that game, you better hurry up and get ready for the next one. Well, to end the season that way, at least I got to catch my breath, maybe for about 12 hours, and then back on the road recruiting, right? And that's the nature of it. Not only that, making sure we kept our current guys, recruiting future high school prospects, transfers, making sure we're on that. But, look, we're proud of what occurred last year, and now the tide's turning, ready to roll the other way.
And then really, honestly, it was fruitful. The NIL deal with FedEx, that's so generous and so helpful. We've already seen that. And frankly, you got security. We got the security of having you a little bit longer when you finally got your deal.
Yeah, let's start with the FedEx. NIL is this day and age in college football and college athletics. And so very fortunate that the Smith family and the FedEx Corporation decided, hey, we're going to invest in Tiger Athletics. And what a tremendous partnership and relationship. And what a huge difference it makes, right? We were pretty far behind last year and the years prior in NIL and just in a competitive nature. Now this puts us at the forefront, and the ability to go out there and be able to take care of our guys, and rightfully so, and what a tremendous deal it's been. So grateful for that. And then, look, I'm so grateful for the administration and those that stepped up and said, hey, we want to keep you around a little bit longer as a head football coach. Just keep winning games and graduating the guys. We'll keep you around here for a long time. So look, it's been a lot of fun, but we know now the expectations are there and time to swing away.
Talking about the NIL deal, it's huge. FedEx does so much for the University of Memphis and for the city. But allowing you to not only go out and get some other players, but having some major key players coming back. Seth Hennigan is one, Rock Taylor, Demir Blankenship, but it's specifically Seth because I know a lot of people wanted him. How huge is that Seth decided to stay here in this Tiger blue and gray?
What I always tell fans, I said, you got to remember, these players decided they wanted to return before this NIL deal was announced. So look, that certainly doesn't hurt. But I think what happened was those guys kind of see what we're building here. They appreciated that all-in approach, the culture that they helped build and create. And, guys like Seth Hennigan, right, Rock Taylor, Demir Blankenship, and so many others that said, we want to continue to be a part of this, something special, right? Our goal is to win the conference championship, right, and maybe have the opportunity to play at the next level. And they said, we can achieve all of our hopes, goals, and dreams here at the University of Memphis, staying a part of this program. And I've got great faith in them, and I'm so fortunate they have the faith back, and it's reciprocated with it back in our program. And those guys saying, hey, we want to be a part of something special. Let's call it what it is. I mean, they were being called by multiple teams and other people, and tampering, whatever the hell you want to call it. It occurs live and well. But I think they sat back and they said, okay, look, it's nice to be flirted with and be wanted, but at the end of the day, this is the best situation for them, and we couldn't be more thrilled.
It's amazing how Doc only brings up offensive guys. You know, he forgot about Chandler Martin here. You did get a pretty good defensive guy back who I think's a leader on this team.
Yeah, absolutely. Chandler Martin, an all-conference linebacker, you know, a leader, a guy that's did a wonderful job last season. You know, he had the ability also, people were calling him, reaching out to him, hey, why don't you come play for us? And he said, you know what, I really like this defensive scheme. He had a great relationship with Jordan Hankins, who was at one point the interim D coordinator, now our full-time D coordinator, and his position coach as well. I think that made a huge difference. And guys like Chandler Martin say, hey, you know what, we also want to step up on defense and prove to everybody what we're really all about, and let me come back for another year and see what we can do.
Yeah, Chandler Martin, Greg Rube. I mean, Rube, those are my guys, you know what I mean? But of course, I'm one track on the offense, but I'm also talking about Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, man. It's a little reconstruction going. It's undergoing a facelift.
Absolutely, right? Well, look, we're so fortunate, you know. Right when I got here, everybody talked about this indoor practice facility that was probably promised to you back when you were playing.
In 1989.
Yeah, I think part of that is, you know, we're so fortunate that they decided to go ahead and go forth with this reconstruction. It's going to be beautiful. I mean, look, I've got so much respect and love the traditions of the Memphis Tiger football program, everything that occurred, and the Liberty Bowl. But man, it's time for a facelift, and what a beautiful one it's going to be.
It's so weird the way they're chomping away at it, the way they did it, the implosion of the press box. I mean, really neat kind of stuff. And I know you've been looking, you know, this is your 9th year, all told. So having continuity is a major thing. You mentioned Hankins. You brought him back. Cramsey has been around here. He's got this relationship with Hennigan. How important is that, knowing your system and having the same guys teach it over and over again?
Yeah, 9th year here, continuity and loyalty are words that are few and far between here in this day and age, but we're so fortunate that guys like Jordan Hankins, like our current player Seth Hennigan, and Tim Cramsey, right? Tim Cramsey was a sought-after offense coordinator, 6th in the country in scoring offense last year. And he was getting calls left and right. He said, you know what, my family loves it here. I'm really happy here. I think we can continue to do great things. Let me stay here. And so that continuity amongst the staff to players to players is absolutely tremendous, and I think it's going to pay huge dividends for us this 2024 football season.
How you feel about their running back room right now? We got Mario Anderson coming in, but we got Seth Sutton Smith coming back. How you feel about their running?
Yeah, look, obviously we've been so fortunate to have so many great running backs here in my short time, plus the legend himself sitting in front of me, you know, and D'Angelo Waves, all those. We'll give credit where credit's due. But Blake people forget, over 1,000-yard rusher, over 50 catches on the season. He's going to be, you know, very, very hard to replace. But you mentioned a guy like Sutton Smith. I think that the Tiger Nation got to see a little bit of who he truly was in the bowl game, plus explosive plays here and there. He's lightning in a bottle. Excited what he can do. Mario Anderson, right, the transfer running back from South Carolina, who led them in rushing. Have high expectations and hopes for him. He's had a tremendous offseason. You know, Brandon Thomas was another guy. People forget Brandon Thomas 3 years ago started versus Mississippi State in that win. You know, he was a 100-yard rusher in that game. And then we added Greg Desore, a transfer from the University of Massachusetts, who's doing some great things also. So look, we got a stable of backs, so very, very confident in them and what they're able to do. We just got to go put it on the table.
Other side of the ball, a lot of transfers coming in. It seems to me a lot deeper than you were a year ago.
We knew we had to add depth. I think we've got a lot of guys that are tremendous players. Excited what they can do. I think, you know, there's going to be some names that you may not see game 1, but then all of a sudden game 7, like, oh, I forgot he was part of that. What a huge pickup. What a tremendous asset he's been to the season.
All right, we just heard from the big boss himself. Coming up next, we sit down with both coordinators and 4 players. Stick with us.
You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
Welcome back to The Ryan Silverfield Show. The Tigers' offense was one of the best in the country last season. They might be even better this year with a bunch of key players returning and some new names to keep an eye on.
Seth Hennigan's back. The receiving room, a lot of the running backs. I know Coach Silverfield's high on that room. Those are all back. Talk about this offensive line that makes everything go. That is a lot of new pieces.
Yeah, you know, that's the one piece from this offense we went out and we lost a lot of guys from last year. Brought in some really good players. Universally across an offense or across the football program is the same statement, but those guys up front, individual talent isn't really what it's about. It's about coming together as 5, playing as 1. And I think they did a great job of that this fall camp, this spring. Guys like Chris Adams came in from Old Dominion. Guys like Jalen came in from South Carolina. Key came in from ULM. Trent came in from Marshall. Okay, so all those guys came in, but two key pieces stayed for us in Xavier Hill, who was with us all last year, and Jonah Gamba, who's been here my 3 years, and I'm sure you guys think he's been here 10 years. You know, so those guys are the ones holding together, and the other guys came in and really joined into that offensive line. I'm excited about them. We got some big bodies up front, you know, and even better, they're athletic.
All right, man, last ride. Kind of surreal to think about how fast it's all going for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think about. It's kind of emotional to think about. Really, just it's a sappy moment going into like your last fall camp, and Chandler at the end of last practice of camp, he was just like, take advantage of this opportunity every time you get it, because it flies by, and it was my last fall camp, so we're just telling the freshmen to, you know, really soak in every moment you get to play football.
You've already got some program records. You're probably going to knock down a couple others this year. You know you're going to be thought of very highly when it comes to quarterbacks in Memphis football history. How much do you care about your legacy and the way that you're thought of after you leave here?
I feel like it's relatively important. To be honest, I've never really thought about it in the past up until the last couple of months, and my dad kind of mentioned it to me whenever we were going through the decision-making process of whether to stay at Memphis or not. And you know, thinking of it now, I want to leave the best legacy I can, just because it'll set me up better in the future, just with connections in the Memphis area, because I want to stay living in Memphis after college football is over. But I mean, I just want to win a championship. You know, that's all that really matters in my mind, and that's what I want to add on to my legacy this coming year.
All right, Mario Anderson, welcome to Memphis, man. Your first few months here, what's that been like?
It's been very welcoming, very loving, very family atmosphere and everything. Coach Silverfield and his staff has really, you know, brought the culture alive here at the University of Memphis, and brought, you know, not only myself, but be able to keep the players that's been here before here. So it's been very welcoming.
Leading rusher at the University of South Carolina last year, you look for a new home. The obvious question, why here?
I feel like when I took my visit here, I took visits at other places and stuff, but I just felt like, you know, talking to my parents, my peoples, and praying on everything, I felt like, you know, God led me here and stuff. I had a newborn son at the time, so all that stuff kind of played in the factor and everything, and really, after he was born, I just FaceTimed Coach Silverfield and just told him, you know, so it just felt right, you know, the legacies of the lineage of running backs that were here before me. You know, it's a very rich lineage of running backs that came here and produced in the NFL, so I want to be the next Memphis running back as well.
Switching gears from the offense to the defense, who put up their best performance of the season in the bowl game win over Iowa State. They look to continue that momentum in the first season under new defensive coordinator Jordan Hankins. How big has it been for your defense to go against that offense in practice all summer, which is expected to be one of the best in the country?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, and it starts with the quarterback, you know. I mean, Seth does a great job. Obviously, he's a great player and has played a lot of games, you know, but just going out there every day and watching how he dissects the defense and does different things, that offensive line coming off the ball, just a stable of different running backs and guys and receivers. You know, you can't just go out there and say, man, we got to stop this one guy, you know, and it's going to come down, if you want to play college at the highest level and with the biggest games, you can't play just one person. They have multiple weapons, so you're going to have to play a balanced defense. You're going to have to understand where the threats are coming from, but you're not just going to be able to say, okay, it's coming from this area. You know, and I think that's the best thing that we get, because also Tim's very multiple. You know, he runs a lot of different things and throws a lot of different kinks at you. You know, and it makes our defense better every day, because we can go back in the film room and say, okay, now you've seen this. You know what I'm saying? It's not on Saturday at 6 o'clock, you know, for them to find it. But being around those guys every day and just, you know, going against those guys every day is huge for us.
All right, Chandler Martin, thinking back to this time last year, I don't think a lot of people around the program probably knew who you were, but they found out real quick with how you played last year. How would you just sum up the last year of your life, especially with the way you performed last year?
This last year was a whirlwind. It went by very fast. I would attribute it all to the process from coming from a 2-star out of high school, and nobody really knew who I was coming out of ETSU, and just really a blessing to see how far I can come in a year.
Going into year 2 here, what are your expectations for yourself and what you can control?
Personally, I try not to put expectations. I don't really set goals as the year. I kind of set habits I want to create. I know I want to speak up on the team more, spend some more time watching film, and just be the leader of the defense I know I can be.
I think everyone expects this offense to put up a lot of points, and the defense, if you guys can play well, then this team can really accomplish some special things. How good do you think this defense can be?
Defense is coming to ball this year. We're coming with a chip on our shoulder. We don't expect anybody to give us anything. We're coming in as underdogs, no matter what the preseason or anything rankings say. We're coming in as an underdogs, ready to prove ourselves. So we're ready.
All right, Elijah Herring, new Memphis Tiger. Welcome. How are you liking the city, the program, everything it has to offer so far?
Yes, sir. I'm loving the city. I'm loving the program, the food, the culture, everything about Memphis. It's very exciting to be here.
Big barbecue fan?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
So, you know, in the past, the thought of a player of your caliber transferring from a good SEC program to a program like Memphis, it might seem crazy to a lot of people, but in today's day and age and with what the Tigers have going for them right now, all of a sudden, it's not that crazy. Why Memphis?
Just a hard-working program. It's a program that, you can depend on for some good football, good training, and good athletes to come out there and just put on the show for everybody. So I felt like me coming here would help the program, help myself also with, just small details, little things in the game, and just will help me grow.
What was, if you had to pinpoint the #1 selling point on why you're here, what would you say?
The culture of the coaching staff and just the players.
Should be an exciting year for the Tigers. We'll preview all of it coming up next.
You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone. Let's take a look at the AutoZone Road Ahead.
Road ahead, if we just take an overview of it, some of the most important keys for you this year.
Yeah, I think more than anything, we've got a long season ahead of us, is truly focusing on 1 week at a time. In the offseason, people are saying, well, can't wait for you to go down to Tallahassee and take on Mike Norvell. Well, look, let's start with North Alabama, a home game. You got to win week 1. Week 2, Troy coming into town, back-to-back conference champions. Then we'll go to Tallahassee. Then we go to Navy. We got to handle our business, and our guys got to have tremendous focus. We've been talking about having the blinders on all off season. We got to do that week in and week out in order for us to have success.
Now, how are you handling it? Sometimes people get pressure for not winning. Now you got pressure for winning. So, how are you handling that? What's your mindset going in?
Yeah, pressure is a privilege. We're so fortunate. I love the outside expectations. That's great. That means people are talking about our Memphis football program. And that's something for many, many years we all wanted. Right now, hey, let's be at the forefront of it. Let people talk about what a great program we have, the expectations. But nobody has higher expectations for this program than the people within this building.
When you've got battery trouble, head to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Of course, that first step on the journey is next week against North Alabama. Back with a wrap in just a minute.
You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see the progress on the new stadium. It's next Saturday. We'll see you next week.
The Ryan Silverfield Show is presented by AutoZone. Got a check engine light? AutoZone will check it for free with the free Fix Finder service. Available at every store. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Conway Services, official heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric partner of Tiger Athletics. Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. RJ Young, technology solutions that power your business. And by Tennessee Lottery, turning dollars into dreams.
This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Memphis. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Memphis and Learfield.